Hey everyone. I wanted to circle back to my last epi in regards to what made me stop and go into a little more detail with that. First, I want to say thank you all for joining me. I'm outside again today because it's a beautiful day. But I wanted to address the personal moment when I knew I had to stop, the moment I knew I had to change. And like I said, that happened quite a few times for me. As moms, we feel like we have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. I know for me, I did, and especially becoming a single mom unexpectedly. One time I was high. This is something I actually didn't even put in the book. One time I had taken pills and I was drinking too, shortly after me and the kid's dad separated. Actually, we had already gone through our divorce, and this was a time I had just gotten my pills from my dope man. And I remember being in our new little situated apartment and walking into the living room, and my son was sitting there. And I remember I was high as a kite and I started to trip. And if you don't know what tripping is, it's, it is hallucinating and seeing things that are not there. I think it was something in the pills he had given me, and I don't know what it was, honestly, because, I was getting it from a dope man off the street. And I remember running back to my room and thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I felt my respiratory system, what I thought my respiratory system, started to depress. I got paranoid. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And actually, after that time, that was a few years ago, after that happened, I said, I have to stop because I need to be here for my kids. That was the first personal moment, rock bottom, that I had, being like that in front of my child. And he wasn't even really paying attention to me that I knew of. But my two daughters were in the other room. And I was just going through so much. I was so out of my mind. But I knew in that moment, I said, I gotta stop this because I have to be here. And if I keep this up, I'm gonna die. That was my first time. I actually I had just bought all these pills and I flushed them down the toilet. It was crazy. I flushed all that money down the toilet, but I was so scared. And that was one of the times I actually stopped for about a week. And I ended up calling my dope man back and asking him for more pills. Craziest thing ever. But that's what you do when you're addicted. When you're going through something and you think you hit rock bottom, and you have those personal moments where it scares you to death. You go paranoid. You think you're gonna die. And a few days later, life returns, and you're like, I gotta go right back to what I know, which was the pills. So that was the first personal moment that I can remember, and I just wanted to circle back to that because that was an important time, an important turning point, one of many. What eventually happened to me, though, and just being in total transparency, what eventually happened to me when I finally stopped the final time, and when I finally said, I have to stop this, is because I had gone up, like I said, consistently to 9 pills a day. I was taking 9 pills a day for several years, and I was able to maintain 9. I didn't even want to work up to that, but in my mind, I was like, 6 is good, because if I stay at 6, then it won't be as expensive. I can keep it in my budget, which was still expensive, but it won't be as expensive, and my immune system won't keep going up, and the chances of overdose are lower. It's just crazy, the things that you tell yourself, but that's what I told myself. And getting up to that many pills, I said I gotta stop, and I was at that mind frame where I knew I had to stop again. But having never stopped by taking that many pills, I didn't know how my body was going to react. So when I decided to stop cold turkey, I had actually run out of pills. In all transparency, if my dope man had come up with the pills in the time that I needed them, which was, I was counting the pills and counting down the number of days. Okay, I can take this many, in this many days. I actually counted it out on the calendar. I would still be addicted today. I would still be finding a way to pay him. And yeah, I would still be doing it today, but he didn't get those pills. I was in a mindset where I was like, Donna, you're gonna die a year from now. You're gonna be taking 18, and then you're gonna be taking 20, and then you're gonna be taking 30, and then you're gonna OD. You're gonna overdose. So I thought that I could stop cold turkey. So that was my moment and opportunity to stop when I ran out of pills. And thank God that I did. But I will not lie to you, it is extremely hard. It has been, thankfully, like I said, I haven't had cravings, which I'll go into a little bit of detail on the cravings and how that can affect you as well. But I wanted to circle back to, because a lot of people are like, when is that moment for you? And it is a lot of moments that add up to when you decide to become sober. For me, it's not just one specific time, it's several times. But the next thing that I want to go into for one of my future episodes is the first 30 days of sobriety and how to deal with that. Because that is a very, very fragile time. That was a very fragile time for me. But in the meantime, if you all have any more questions that you want me to address, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I have no problem giving my number, giving my email address to help whoever I can help. So I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye. Enjoy this beautiful day.